Over the recent years, there's been a rise in customer complaints over horrible Airbnb experiences and price changes. People began to point out that Airbnb costs way too much, if not more than hotels, and there's no point in booking an Airbnb if the experience is subpar. Airbnb took notice of this, and they have taken action implementing many changes to serve the customers better. The two most notable changes are unique properties and competitive pricing. These changes are great for customers because they differentiate Airbnb from hotels by being more affordable and unique. These changes also affect hosts. Those who put in effort and create an amazing experience with their property reap the benefit. However, those with low quality cookie cutter properties who are in it just to capitalize on the business will start to suffer and experience difficulty running this business. Right now, if you go on YouTube and you search Airbnb Bust, you'll see many hosts complaining about their properties and how they are not getting the same booking as they used to. As a host myself, I understand the frustration that all these other hosts are going through. But as a businessman, I know that change is inevitable and you must adapt to the change, and that's the only way to thrive in this world. So does this mean Airbnb is no longer profitable? The answer is yes, if you're one of those hosts, but if you do things right, like I'm about to teach you, the answer is no. 2023 is going to be amazing. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Chi. I've done over $10 million on the Airbnb platform, and I've taught multiple students to earn over 7 figures per year to become gracious, amazing Airbnb hosts. In this video, we're gonna go over the changes that Airbnb have introduced in 2023, and I'll show you how a host can thrive in this competitive environment.
That's what I want to learn.
So in order to understand the magnitude of the changes in 2023 to the Airbnb platform, we have to go back to the beginning years of Airbnb. Airbnb was founded in 2008 by 3 friends, Brian, Joe, and Nathan. Brian and Joe were in college and they were struggling to pay for their apartment in San Francisco. So they thought, hey, what if we just create this website that people can search for a room to stay in? We'll inflate this little airbed and let them stay in our property, and we'll charge them some money for it. Instantly, it was a hit. Somebody booked their property, stayed in their air mattress. Lo and behold, the website Air Bed and Breakfast was born. More of the story is that Airbnb, or Air Bed and Breakfast then, was a hotel alternative, an affordable hotel alternative. The founders believed that people had spare rooms to even an entire house in which they can rent to travelers. And there was an opportunity here to create a marketplace to connect people with homes and people who were traveling, otherwise known as hosts and guests. They created the website. It was simple. The host could list their property and the traveler could search for the area and see the available accommodations. They launched on August 2008. Since then, Airbnb has grown into this megalithic powerhouse of a website. It's one of the largest online marketplaces for people to shop for accommodations. They have listings in over 220 countries, and they have more listings on Airbnb than all the hotel chains combined. Seeing the gold mine that is Airbnb, people began buying houses, renting houses, and turning them all into Airbnb. Many people became millionaires. Many more want a piece of that pie. I like to call that the golden age of Airbnb, at least in the perspective of a host. But this era has really reached its pinnacle because there are so many people now starting cookie cutter Airbnbs. And what I mean by that is just generic Airbnbs with a bed, maybe some kitchen utensils, and that's it. There's nothing special about it. It almost resembles a hotel, but with no room service, with no maid service, and just overall poorer quality. And the worst part is, all these people starting these cookie cutter operations, they don't have enough business acumen or experience to run a Class A operation. So people would show up, sometimes they won't be able to check into their properties, the properties will be dirty, and there'll just be a whole slew of problem behind it. So people naturally turn back to the other platform, their competitor, which are the hotels. Airbnb knows this, and they are committed to making things better. Brian Chesky has 2 specific tweets that he sent out. 1, he believes Airbnb is way too pricey now, and 2, he believes that quality could be improved. They have changed the way that they perceived how your listing should show up on search. So they are now prioritizing prices that are low and properties that are high in quality. they introduced the category section into Airbnb. You have properties completely themed out in Harry Potter theme, Star Wars theme. You have beach properties, you have surf properties, you have desert, mountain, snow. It's all there. They introduced these categories for a reason. They want to distinguish themselves from hotels. So naturally, they prioritize listings that meet their vision as a company. So if you're one of the people who didn't do proper research before and your property is extremely slow right now, here's what you can do. One, simply make it super interesting and themed out. Example, turn your property into a Harry Potter themed property, a Marvel themed property. Add a ton of games into your property, add arcades, pinball machines, pool tables, whatever it is that you can dream of and think of, whatever special amenities you can muster up, add it to your home. The key here is to be creative, and there is absolutely no limit, which is what makes this fun.
What do we got here?
We're building a chessboard, a life-size chessboard. They sell a mat, but the mat has holes in it, and I remember that there's grass all over here. Does that mean the grass could go right through the mat? So instead, I went to Home Depot and bought these 16 by 16 concrete slabs. They're about 30 pounds each. Now, the second point, Airbnb is now prioritizing low price, low total price that is, which includes cleaning fee and all miscellaneous fee, and promoting those property with the lowest prices first on their search. Most people rent out random properties and they don't really know what price range they can price their property at. They kind of look at what other people are pricing and do something similar. There's nothing wrong with that system, it's just you're not really going to stand out because if you're pricing the same as them, you're gonna get washed out on search. There's nothing unique about your property. So, on nights that have no demand and there's a lot of available Airbnb properties, you have to lower your price to be competitive. You have to. I emphasize, you must. If you want to earn a significant living on Airbnb, you cannot price one stagnant price across your calendar throughout the year. It just doesn't work. So in 2023, make your properties unique, make them stand out, theme them out, and work on your dynamic pricing. Guys, as a host that's done over $10 million in Airbnb and have produced multiple multi-millionaire Airbnb students, this is what I have to share with you. So if you want to scale, if you want to create life-changing income on Airbnb, it's still absolutely possible. You just need to do it the right way. I'm more than happy to give you guys a ton of free content, but for those of you who just want to skip all that work, click the premium content down below to get right to work. I'll see you guys on the other side.